Hey you guys, Shawn Tubbs here. Welcome back to my studio. I've got an overdrive pedal to show you today. This one's built by the kids over at XTS Custom Pedals, and it's called the Winford Drive. Really great sounding overdrive, really versatile, lots of different just tonal variations you can drag out of this box, as well as gain. You can go from really low gain settings that you might use for like a rhythm kind of rock setting all the way to really high gain kind of solo voices. The controls on it are as such. It's got volume and gain on the top. The volume is obviously the output of the pedal, gain is the amount of overdrive. And then across the middle of the pedal you've got three controls. You've got the presence control, a tone control, and a mid boost control. And all three controls are voiced really well. Essentially they're shelved proper. The mid boost is really impressive. I really like mid circuits, especially on amplifiers, even if it's dialed kind of clean. If you were to dime the mid, I like when it actually creates a little bit of gain and maybe even a little bit of treble up top. And this box kind of does that. But what's really nice about it is as you do crank mids, if you're not wanting a little bit more hair up top, then you can turn down the presence or you can change the tone setting. It's just really well thought out, really well laid out pedal. And the switch on it is actually a soft switch, which I have grown to really dig lately. So yeah, without further ado, let's check out this Winford Drive by XTS. Okay, you guys, let's check out this Winford Drive by XTS. I'm going to use my PRS McCarty 58. It's got 5708 pickups in it, and I'm going to use my divided by 13 FTR 37 amplifier. So here's a straight clean tone. And here's the Winford Drive. So that's kind of a good starting point for this overdrive. I've got it set up relatively low gain, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what the actual EQ section is going to do before we start getting into the gobs of gain that this pedal has. Okay, so let's just start with the mid frequency real quick so you guys can hear what it's doing at this gain setting. So I'm just going to reach in and maybe crank that up a little bit. So it's a lot of tone variation there. Where I started was essentially kind of flat. If we roll it all the way off, then back to kind of flat. So just a ton of variation just in that control alone. The setting in the middle is the tone setting, and that's more of kind of almost a pick attack kind of thing where it's kind of the upper high kind of mid setting. So I'll do the same thing with that really quick. Here's it off. Here's 12 o'clock. It's about 3 o'clock. So now you're hearing a lot of that kind of upper mid kind of pick attack thing. And here's the setting dimed. So obviously that's a little bright, but you can tell there's a ton of variation in that frequency zone, which is really cool. And then the presence is obviously the upper spectrum of your treble. And that's great because you can kind of, between those two settings alone, just kind of pick the amount of like just top end kind of hair that you're going to want on your tone. If you're doing more chordal stuff, you might want to add more presence. You want it to be more toppy that way, where it's the kind of presence, where if you wanted to go the other way and make it more kind of bitey, and I loved having that kind of control over what I wanted to do. So just once again, tons of tonal variation there, and these controls interact with each other really well. You know, you may find, especially as you start running maybe a little more gain, that as you're adding mids, it can also add a little bit of top end. So you can hear there's more mids there, but there's also a little more top. So you could just back the presence a little bit. Which is really a nice just thing to be able to do. There's not a lot of stomp boxes that I guess have this many controls on them that work this well. Everything interacts really, really well. So what I'm going to do now is just roll the gain for you, and I've actually never dimed this thing. It's kind of was like you get your first muscle car with just insane horsepower, and you're just, you could floorboard it, but you're kind of scared because God only knows what could happen. And that's kind of where I was with this. So I'll just start slowly rolling up the gain, and we'll just check it out together. So that's fairly, let me just shut it off. So that's gain off. Start rolling it up. Now that setting is about where I set it when I did the solo with the Les Paul. Keep rolling it up. Roll it up some more. And we'll go ahead and dime it. Gobs of gain, and the amp is set totally clean, so you're not going to be wanting for gain. And just while we're on the gain subject, as we do get into kind of higher gain settings, you can start seeing what the EQ does there as well. So that was just like a minor move on the mids. I could go on forever with, there's just so many tonal variations that you can drag out of this thing, but the video would be crazy long. Let me show you one other thing. This pedal works great as just a push box. It's got a lot of just output or volume. I'll shut it off real quick. Now this is with the gain shut off and the volume dimed. Now keep in mind, with a lot of boxes, when you shut the gain off, the EQ control kind of goes down or disappears, but in this case it's still active. So now we're just hitting the front end of my D13 pretty hard. And it works great. And then of course you could start rolling gain in. But it'll, it might get a little woolly on you, cranked that hot. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew that that setting works really, really well. So I don't think I've missed anything. Like I said, there's a gazillion different sounds you can dial up with this thing, and it's voiced really, really nice. It's everything from kind of a low gain rhythm box all the way to like, the awesome like old Proco like Rat pedals that were like modded. And everything in between. It's just a really well thought out box. And the other thing I didn't mention is that it does have the soft switch on it, which is really nice. I've really grown to like that type of foot switch. So man, if you have any questions on this pedal, the kids over at XTS are awesome. Just look them up and buzz them out an email or give them a call, and I'm sure they'll take care of any questions you might have. I've got some more demos coming up in the future, so as always I appreciate you guys coming and checking out my videos, and we'll see you in the next installment. Thanks you guys.